Hi, I'm Bob Zebrowski, founder of Judy's Run for Stroke Awareness and Prevention. I'm here with Renee, one of my heroes, and I wanted to interview the interviewer. And I talked to Renee about it. She thought it was a great idea because, as you know, Renee is a stroke survivor. So I'm going to kick it off with some questions and ask Renee, when did you have your stroke and where?
I had my stroke at April 8th, 1989, and it was down at the softball field. My daughter, I had my daughter Brittany 6 months prior, so we were down at the softball field, and I was coaching my little league softball team because I'm an avid softball player.
Oh.
And I was coaching third base, and I was walking off the field from into the first base dugout, and I really just remember myself. It almost like my body went down, my spirit went up.
Wow. And
I had an out-of-body experience, as you know. And it really was very magical. It was, I call it a divine intervention. People ask me what happened to my stroke, and, I say, I don't know the medical term, but I know it was a divine intervention. And God spoke to me during that moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was good.
Chills.
It was good. It was good. That's why my book is called Stroke of Luck.
Right. You said you felt you felt out of your body. Can you explain that a little more?
Yeah. How do I explain feeling out of your body? It's almost like closing your eyes and imagining yourself in a place that you want to be. In a magical place. Like, close your eyes, and what's a place that you like to hang out, Bob? What's your dream place?
Being with Judy.
Being with Judy. So close your eyes, and you just envision yourself with Judy, and you're just like bliss. Bliss is like the word I'm looking for. Yeah. And I just was in such an astounding place. I was in heaven, and heaven is very tranquil and peaceful, and the most beautiful presence that it's almost like you're surrounded with pure love, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong or no problems. It's just love. And love is powerful. Love is powerful. Look what you and Judy endure, and you endure it through your love for each other. So it's
wow.
It was good.
And I've talked to other people, and they've not a lot, but they had told me they felt that also. Not a lot of people, and I talked to a lot of people about strokes and survivors. But wow, that's it's phenomenal. It's incredible.
I think I wasn't. I don't want to say this in a wrong terminology, but I was probably chosen to have a stroke, and because God said to me, you have to always work for me. And God knew my personality. He knew that if I'm dedicated to something, I go all out. I am like
really?
Yeah. Oh, really, Bob? Bob knows. Yeah, I mean, and I think, but you know what? I really believe that anything can be done or say if you do it through love, and if you do it through the kind words and the peaceful way. I could say to you, "Oh, you did that wrong," and you would be like, or you know what, Bob? Why don't you try it like this? And that's like a whole different approach.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it really makes, so it doesn't matter what you say to somebody, it's how you say and how you present yourself to somebody. And timing is everything. Timing is everything in life. Sometimes when you need to say something to somebody and they have so many things going on in their lives, it's not the right time. It's not the right time. Right. So you really need to take a few minutes or just wait for another time.
Said. Did you get to the hospital one time?
In time for what?
Well, that window, that magical window.
I don't. I had my stroke 25 years ago. It was 25 years this past year.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And so that TP, what is it? TPA? TPA,
the
right?
clot buster.
Yes. It wasn't around back then. It wasn't around back then. I don't think it was around back then.
No, I don't think it.
Because they didn't even.
No.
It wasn't even like something that we knew about.
Yeah.
Knew about or something.
No.
I do remember. I literally watched everything happening below me. Almost like, what was it? Did you ever watch Heaven Can Wait with Warren Beatty?
Yeah.
And he's watching everything below him?
Right.
Well, I had the same experience. So I watched, the ambulance come, and I watched it, then put me in the ambulance, and I watched the ambulance on the way to the hospital. And I remember standing at my, being above my bed with my father and his then girlfriend and people at my bedside. I remember.
Wow.
But on the other hand, I was semi-unconscious. I just laid there not knowing, not so confused. And so it was like when I asked God to put me back down on my body, He put me back down on my body. But it wasn't like, okay, she's okay. I really had to defragment my brain and get rid of all the negativity and garbage, because I had a big purpose. My purpose was like bigger than me. Do you
remember what they did for you at the hospital? Do you remember the doctors or?
I remember Dr. Littmeyer, a phenomenal neurologist out of Valley Hospital. Valley Hospital is really a wonderful stroke. They really take care of
stroke facility.
Yes. And I'm on the patient advocate committee, acute stroke patient advocate committee, and I'm really learning their concepts, and I really admire their new philosophy. What they're doing is they're not working for the patient alone. They're involving the family, because they really do believe that family involvement is so critical in recovery.
I do too.
It's so critical in recovery.
Yes.
To have your family there and to have them love you and to feel them and to know they're around you.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's nothing better.
Yeah.
There's nothing better. So Dr. Littmeyer was my doctor, and I remember the only test I remember was when they put the dye in you and they put it up in your brain. I remember screaming at the top of my lungs that it hurt so bad, and I think they knocked me out. But for that 1 week, I don't remember anything. And on a Saturday, I woke up and I called my husband, and my ex-husband now, but I called the children of my father's dad.
Right.
I called him, and I was mumbling because I couldn't talk, and I didn't even know where I was. I didn't even know anything, and everybody started crying.
Yeah.
Everybody started crying because I was out of it for a week. I was out of it for a week.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Just give us 3 more minutes.
Okay.
Thanks.
How do you feel today?
I feel energized.
Yeah.
I am so happy that
Let me say it again. Really?
Yes, yes. No, because I think us coming together, Bob, our foundations, just as like putting a plug in.
Yeah.
It's putting a plug in.
I'm in awe of that. I am in awe.
Yeah, I know.
The circle of the last year, the people have been surrounded. Joe and Louise and you and Bobby.
Yeah, and
Magical.
we all have a cause, and we're all on a cause. I do things for your foundation. You do things for my foundation. It's not about I got to have money here, I got to have money there. We just do whatever we do.
Yeah.
We do whatever we do because the money will follow for our foundations. But our mission, our main purpose, is bringing awareness to strokes and to aphasia. I mean that. Yeah. I mean, that's astounding to that we're doing that. And you know what? Through this platform at Madhouse TV, I mean, I got to tell you that when we first invited Bob to come on this show. He's like, oh, he's so busy, I can't do it, da-da-da. And then he came on, he's like, oh my God, what are we doing? We're like, we're rocking. Yeah. We're rocking. Yeah, and Vicky and Tom are going to give us our numbers, they said before. I don't know if you probably didn't hear this.
No.
But he said, we are really touching the world with this telethon, with this foundation, with the platform at Madhouse TV. And our purpose is to have the telethon, yes, and to bring the telethon. So in a you know what, Bob? Talk about your Judy's Run, your car show for a few minutes, sure, and on it he put the telethon. But it's really astounding. Before we have to go, I want you to be able to talk about your. We
have our third annual rock and roll car show. It was quite successful. Me being an old doo-wop guy, I love the music and cars, and it's our third annual. It's coming up on August 10th. It'll be at Smithtown Historical Society with a rain date of the 17th. I am very excited about it because it's growing, and I'm looking forward to it.
Good.
It's really going to be phenomenal.
And before we go, because I know we have to go, but we just need to have a short session, the next session. It just needs to be about 6 or 7 minutes. So, Bob, give everybody your foundation's website so that sure, they can find your information. That's sure, really important.
It is www.judysrun.com. Just Google Judy's Run.
It's not .org?
No, it's not. It's a com.
It's a com?
It's
okay,
a com, yeah.
Do it again?
www.judysrun.com. Please visit it. It's a great website, and there's a great song that's sung by Kenny Vance up there, which is how I feel about my wife. Please
it is a good song. Before we go, I'm going to ask you, what was your purpose behind turning the interview around?
I thought it would be kind of interesting, as a caregiver and Judy having a stroke, and you did this phenomenal job of interviewing, you being a stroke survivor, I thought it would be great to interview you. Because I talked to so many people, but at this level, and I thought it was a great idea, and I thank you for doing it.
We'll be right back. We're going to go to break. Thanks.